Hey guys, I got a message from one of you all about reverse mortgages, and I want to talk about that really quickly. For those that might not be familiar with what a reverse mortgage is, essentially there's a house, it's probably paid off. Generally, an older person lives there and they want to get money from the property. So, a reverse mortgage is a loan against the property that they're not required to pay back until they stop living in the property. So, it provides income generally to older people who own their own homes. They're able to borrow and have a regular income coming to them until they don't live there anymore. Generally, that means they've passed away. After the person is no longer living there, has passed away, their family can repay the loan, repay what was borrowed, repay what was given, or they lose the house. The house gets taken to repay the loan. I am generally super against reverse mortgages. I'm very much against putting your house up for any reason. However, when I got a chance to talk to this person about who was taking the loan and why, it came out that this person didn't have any other income. All they had was their house. And this reverse mortgage was going to be able to provide income to a person who didn't want to work anymore. Like they had paid their dues, they just didn't have a lot of money, but they had this house. And I always say there is no hard and fast rule about what is good for your finances. So that applies here. I would never tell anyone to take any kind of loans against your house because your house is an asset. Your house could represent generational wealth. You can pass it along when you've gone on. There's a lot of reasons that you should not use your house as leverage to do other things. However, we're talking about an older person who needs the income and doesn't want to work anymore. And maybe this is the best thing for her. The problem is when she passes on, there is no plan for the family to pay that reverse mortgage back. And I would imagine that means that the family will lose that house. I feel like that's a conversation that families need to have about what they want to do with property that they have. We have a feeling in our hearts that we should always hold on to property. I do anyway. I'm very big on holding on to property, but that might not be what's best for your family. Your family may need income right now, and I don't think that's the best financial decision, but it might be the best real life decision. And so in general, I am against reverse mortgages. Hear me. I'm against them because I believe that means you're going to lose your home after that person passes. However, all financial decisions are about money and counting and numbers, and then they're about feelings. And we can figure out the numbers. We can figure out what it is that's going to happen if you lose this house. We can figure out what the payments are. We can do the math. But in terms of your quality of life, in terms of your feelings about property, all of those things are actually part of the calculation too. So I'll tell you, in this case, I reviewed the documents related to the reverse mortgage, and it was just a terrible loan. It was a bad loan. It had a whole bunch of fees. It was just awful bad. But that didn't mean the idea itself was bad. This is a case where you need to identify your priorities, whether keeping the house in the family is the priority, whether keeping an older adult in their home and able to have income is the priority. Whatever that is for your family, I would say check that out. But bottom line, there's no hard and fast rule. I'm against a whole bunch of stuff, but that's because it's not my life. I want y'all to be able to sit and think and prioritize and identify what means most to you and then do the math. That's it. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.